Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Johnson. I am the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG, and I'm joined by
Belinda Ray, the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
and as always, we have the most exciting 15 minutes of your workday. Before I get started, there's been some controversy around the belt that I brought, that it was too gluttonous and too
What?
gaudy.
Who
So
brought that up?
so listen, I take responsibility for my actions. So in response, I have brought a mini version of the belt today.
Oh my God, who does that fit? Does that go on Walter?
There we go. It does go on Walter. It is.
That's a great collar
Ooh,
for
look,
the
that looks
dog.
nice, huh? Look at
That
that
does.
shine.
That is really pretty. That might be a little more gluttonous and because the other one faded into the background.
Right now. Look at this. This is
That's
great.
better.
Yeah, this is great. So here,
Beautiful.
it's much lighter. It's much easier to handle.
Less of a
So
burden.
I've learned my lessons, and I have scaled it back to just this guy.
All right. All right.
Okay. All right. With that, I think I should get started. Today, my introductory topic is the small business development centers. So Belinda, if you want to just go to the next slide. Um, what is the Small Business Development Centers? Well, they are an offshoot or they of the SBA. So if you remember last week, I presented a couple programs to the Small Business Administration. And this week, this is more organization that I work with quite a bit. So as many of you know, GPCOG does loan programs and some light business advising, not heavy business advising. But there's often times where Maine entrepreneurs need a place to start, or they're at a certain point and they need some assistance to get them to the next level of their business. And I'm sure people have heard of this, but as a refresher, essentially, this is 13 business advisors across the state. So I believe they have a physical location at USM and can correct me if I'm incorrect. But there's 13 business advisors across the state. So they're accessible to anybody in Maine who's a business owner. And they go everywhere from startup to growth to, it says retirement here, but a big part of retirement is like an exit strategy, transition plan. What do I do with my business once it's successful for 20 years and I want to get out of it? It's no cost. It's absolutely free. And in 2025, they touched at least 2,046 business owners, which included 128 new businesses in Maine. And um, I think the websites also mentioned, I think it's like $53 million in capital that they helped raise for small businesses. But the way this works, like in my daily life, is there's oftentimes a business might come to me and let's say they want a $100,000 loan, but they not quite ready for it, right? So what I might do is say, hey, you need to go do X, Y, and Z, primarily a business plan and some financial projections, and I might send them to the SBDC. But likewise, the SBDC might reach out to me for a different business and say, hey, we have this client that's looking for some funding or doesn't know what to do next. Can you help us with this particular client? In fact, I was just emailing Peter Harriman from the SBDC this morning. So what's really cool about it is they're a great partner for GPCOG. They're a great partner for me. And it's nice to see the different nonprofits in the area working together. It's super helpful for business owners because they get a nice cohesive experience. So shout out to the SBDC. And if you hadn't heard from them about them, I should say, you do now. And it's just another free resource for businesses in Maine.
Excellent, Paul. Anne did confirm in the chat that they have, yes, offices across the state in every region hosted by USM, Androscoggin Valley COG, and Northern Maine Development Corporation Center Corporation. I don't know. It's a C. I can never remember.
The C's are always difficult in our
They are.
industry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. NMDC.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to talk about the Maine Arts Commission's new grant that has just came out on Thursday, the 25th. Was that Thursday? I think so. Might have been Wednesday. Might have been Thursday. But it is the Creative Communities Grant. So it just opened and it is due on March 30th by 5 p.m. And this is a grant that looks to expand community access to the arts. So they want you to do projects that address community needs, but also promote the unique identity of your community, show that communities across Maine are great places to live and work and visit and play, and promote the inclusion of artists in the community. So this is a great example. This is really near my house. The East Bayside Community Mosaic Mural Project was really wonderful. It was a project by someone at USM who sat out in front of that building, which is kind of the back part of Coffee by Design in the East Bayside on Diamond Street in East Bayside. And sat out there with tiles and pottery and broken things and had people come by and choose something to add to the wall. So this really was constructed by the whole community over months and months and months one summer, and it's beautiful every time you walk past it. So that's the kind of project that might work here. Municipalities, tribal entities, schools, cultural organizations, and non-art 501c3s. So really 501c3s. They're assuming these cultural organizations are 501c3s, but any 501c3 can apply. The thing is, if you are not a unit of municipal, county, or tribal government or a school, yeah, you have to have that 501c3 tax exempt status from the IRS. Everyone has to have a SAM number. And if you had previous grants from the Maine Arts Commission, if you want to apply, all of your final reports have to be complete. So eligible expenses here, you can do a lot with this. You can use it to purchase materials or equipment for your project. Equipment has to be, under that $5,000 threshold. Otherwise, there are all kinds of depreciation issues and who owns it at the end of the project issues. So you can do tours, art installations, art exhibits. You can do workshops. You can hire artists. Like I said, that East Bayside mural project, which was wonderful. Great example. This is a picture from a touring production of Pigs is Pigs. Just like the picture there. So lots of things you can use the money for. You cannot, so ineligible, here's an ineligible man down field to tell you, ineligible. Can't use it for debt or loan repayment, equipment over 5,000, school credit things that people are getting school credit for in art classes, that can't be funded. Things outside of Maine can't be funded, has to happen here. Lobbying or fundraising, general operating costs, capital projects, typical exclusions on grants. The steps, if you want to apply for this, you have to set up an account in Submittable, which is an online application portal. Very easy. There's a link right there. Get it set up. Get it set up now, even if you're not going to apply, because other people use this portal as well. Review page 3 of the guidelines, which look like this, and it tells you every question you're going to be asked, the character maximums for these answers. So you can really kind of print this on a document, on a Word page, and answer them all so that you'll be ready to copy paste when the time comes. You also want to prepare your budget. There is a budget form as part of the application. So you'll want to get a budget together that shows all of your expenses by category, and they want to know all of your revenues. Where are you getting all your money for this project, and where does our grant slot in? So you want to prepare something like this, so you're ready to do that part. Assemble your required documents, and that there's just one really. If you are a municipality, a school, or a tribal entity, you have to have an official authorization letter to verify your tax exempt status. So something signed by, the town manager or someone that shows that you do have that tax exempt status. If you are non-governmental, you have to provide a copy of that IRS 501c3 determination letter. There are optional materials as well. So you don't have to upload these things, but you could include examples from previous projects that you've done to show that you know how to do this kind of thing and it will work. Letters of support from any partners that you're bringing in that will be part of it. an artist that you might be using for the project. You might submit their portfolio, so that's something to add into the mix. And then you're going to submit it all in this application portal on Submittable. So the criteria here to review it, you can see that how you describe your project is 20%. How you're going to engage the community and how this is going to be accessible to everyone who wants to participate, that's 40%. The feasibility, do they think this is really going to work? Do you have the capacity to do it? That's 20%. And then artistic excellence and artistic merit, 20% based on your overall application and your support materials. So they're optional, but you really should include them because that's going to be part of what you're reviewed about. Yeah. Key features of the program. The maximum funding is $7,000. You have to match it 1-to-1. So you have to come up with your own $7,000 to match that. The match can be cash. It can be donations. It can be in kind. So keep track of that. So you tell people how you're going to provide that match. You need to plan ahead for this one because everything has to be submitted through that portal. And the supporting materials are important. So get some support letters and grab some photos and be ready when you get to the portal. The difficulty is only a 2. It's pretty easy. You just got to answer those questions, stay within the minimum character count. That typically includes spaces. So make sure you choose the option that includes spaces in your character count. But just plan ahead, but it's pretty easy to put together. Deadline, like I said, is March 30th. So you've got a full month to do it. And they expect to announce the awards in June. And future rounds are anticipated for this. So if you have something you're thinking about doing in your community to help bring people together, maybe some placemaking around a park that you have, this is a great one to get some of the funding that you need to complete that project. I love the idea of a film festival, using this funding to show outdoor films, bring people together in the community, activate a park, activate a space. So this is a picture from a film festival in New York City. If you want to find out more, we've got the grant page, the guidelines. We've got a couple of people who you can contact for application help. I put a nice quote from them. Their goal is to make sure everyone has the resources they need to submit a competitive application. If you have any questions about the process, please contact us. We are always happy to help. So that's where you should go if you have questions while you're filling it out. And that is it for today. There we go. 9:13. Where's that belt, Paul? Pull out that
Oh,
belt.
hold on. Here it is. There it is.
Gotta end.
Yeah, there it is.
Gotta end with the belt.
There it is. A scaled down, more tasteful version of the belt.
Is that possible? A more tasteful version of the belt? I'm not sure that's the point of the belt.
Well, look at it. Look at it. I mean, I can wear it around my wrist. Look,
you could. I want to see it. I want to see it as a cloche.
I don't
Stick
know
it on
if I
there
can.
as a.
No, hold on.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, it's a little tight. It's a little tight.
Yeah, you need a little chain
Well,
for the
that'd be
back,
nice,
but that's kind of nice.
I think I could do that. Yeah.
I think you can. I would like to see that at our next Thursday meeting
All
that we
right.
have.
Next Monday, I'll have it in choker form. So.
Oh my goodness! If that doesn't bring people back, I don't know what will.
And I'm going to deadpan it. I won't even mention it. So
Okay.
So nobody mention it. I'll just.
All right, I'll work on my face all week
Yeah, right.
for that. All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If it is money, then it is Mondays.
And if it's Monday, then it's money. Have a great week, everybody.